All right. My glasses are slightly dirty. Give me just a moment. That's better. All right. Good evening. How goes it? Well, that's fun. That's weird. I brought up the OBS webcam software and offered to do a firmware update. And I said no. And it did it anyway. Whatever. Yes, let's see. Found a mod that backports the Vex texture to 119.2. It fixes the glitchiness with the brush up resource pack. Awesome. That is so good to hear. And I have had a very good new year so far, and I hope you have as well. The pooch is being adorable, and I really wanted to share it with y'all, but my camera's being weird. And now it's doing a firmware update, so I'm just here for whatever my camera wants to do. Anyways, questline, Embers. Let's do that. Gotta love it. Okay. That's great. Oh, can I use the Nug Cam now? I really wanted to get this to work. Oh well. No Nug Cam, I guess. Okay, so I'm trying to remember. Okay.
Narrator, narrator, off.
Okay. I need to remind myself of what all is needed for an ember borer. Hey Luke, how goes it? Welcome back. I remember we had a few things. I just need to remember everything. Right, my ember borer was set up over here. My backpack is still not very clean. So yeah, I once had my ember borer set up here. It lived right here. Yeah, I think that reads better. I'm just trying to really, like, emphasize, hey, yo, look, you need 3 blocks of bedrock below this. All right, so we've got this guy. I remember that we needed a mechanical core. Did I not bring? Okay, I brought one. I was gonna get one and I completely forgot. No. Also, NugCam is not working. I think I need to just restart OBS, but I'm in the middle of a stream, so that's not happening. No, I was just saying, don't worry. I know that this isn't what we, this isn't this isn't what I was wanting. This is, I never asked for this. I don't think she asked for this either. I was going to say, because I know you always tend to set her up with a comfy zone when you give her Pizzle so that she could be viewed by the camera. Just telling you that ahead of time so you, if you were going to give her Pizzle, not to worry about it. Yes, that is my dog. That is my wife. The dog is my child. My very smelly child. She's the source of most of my expenses. Ha, all good. All good. Comfy. Right next to the PS5 dev kit. Which I unplugged so it wouldn't consume any of my precious electricity while we were gone. PS5 dev kit is crazy power hungry. Hello, hello. Mad's too trappy, right? I think I got that right. Hello, welcome. Sorry, I'm mildly distracted. Item pipes and an item extractor. The extractor can be placed against the mechanical core. Fair enough. Also mood. Oh, good grief. I mean, that's what we did last night. We didn't get to bed until 1:40. We stayed at home. We didn't, like, do anything. It was New Year's Eve, so we were like, we should just stay up late, whatever. And I did, sort of, but I didn't do anything. I just played games and doom scrolled on TikTok. Spent time with the dog. That was also important. But that's all I did. It's not like I go out and party. I'm only 28, but I feel twice that age. One hit your window? Holy crap. That's bananas. No kidding. Yeah, I don't blame you for waking up. I mean, good God. Hey, Minecraft Bear, how goes it? I think this is worthy of an 8 to 16. This is a pretty big... Oh, wow. Yeah, it seems like people are setting off fireworks here tonight, which is stupid. But I live country adjacent, so I'm not exactly shocked. If anything, I'm annoyed because I don't vibe with the country type. If you could ever imagine that wouldn't be my type. Based on my accent, I'm pretty sure none of you would guess that I've lived in Tennessee for 26 years. In other words, since I was 2. So. 8 p.m. Yeah, we had people doing that too. There's always someone who's convinced that it's their time. And like, I get it. You buy fireworks and then you're like, ah, crap, I've got work tomorrow and I'm really tired. I should just go ahead and set these off now and just call it a day. Like, I get it. I'm old-ish. So like, I'm at the point now where I'm like, yeah, no, I would definitely do that. Are there better fuels out there than sticks? Probably. Do I care? Nah. Vaguely southern, but not exactly the most southern that has ever existed. Well, it's funny that that's just working. Tennessee is a chicken and chip shop. That's funny. No. I mean... To be fair, I live near Nashville, so it's not like I was going to have the most... Well, let's face it, hick accent that one could possibly have. Definitely far from it. Could be worse, that's for sure. grow faster. Come on. I wish the sigil of the green grove would work on these guys. Constantly running out of sugar and paper. I wonder if I need all these supporting smooth stones or if I can just use this now. You know, I guess there is one really good way of figuring this out. Let's get the data for the block at this location. Okay, teleport key, blood magic dungeon. And I would assume that 91 is not a block entity and 90 or 89 is not either. Yeah. My hunch was based off of the fact that these two had, oh, is that one even a block? Yeah. These two don't have a sprite, and this one does, for the inventory at least. Mind you, it doesn't have a localization key. But I figured that would be the one. Blood Magic Dungeon. But that's like... The problem is I don't have the other inversion pillar anymore. So I'm guessing that it's not by the structure of Smoothstone, but that it's actually by tile data that gets set whenever the ritual is completed. I was debating if I could get rid of all this crummy stuff and... Excuse me. Sorry, I have like an oat stuck in my throat. I'm assuming I can probably get rid of this and like build up a cooler structure around this guy. There are definitely some cool blocks to build with. But I don't want to find out the hard way because this thing sucked to build. Like the ritual was not fun. I don't know. Let's do it and just find out. Taking a small break from the questing because God, we've been doing it. I was doing it for a 4-hour stream or 3-hour stream earlier and I'm back at it again now. I just want to get questing stuff done. I hate making quests. I love making progression. I hate making quests. I don't know why I hate it so much. Probably all the decision paralysis. Like there's so many decisions to be made. I mean, it still worked, so can't really complain. That's right, I did leave someone here. These guys hit so hard. It is ridiculous. That's right. This room, I was like, nope, and then I left. I'm gonna do that again. Bye. I have a hunch that this is just gonna go to the void. Yep. That it does. Cool. Well, hey, that still works, so that makes me happy. Guess we had a mild change of season data? Mild change. Don't really need those. They're not used for anything, right? Facades. Okay, so. Yeah, it's like a roguelike, and it continues to expand more and more. You need these guys. Where are they? You need these iron keys. I just didn't want to bring them with me because I wasn't actually trying to explore. I just wanted to see if the dungeon was still working after I broke those things. So yeah, seems to work just fine. And so yeah, I was mentioning in an earlier stream, I haven't walked all the way through Blood Magic since 1.10, which was for the Let's Play world that I had at the time. and it's been a very long time since then. That was like 6-7 years ago. Back then, there was no dungeon dimension, and the way you made the tier 5 altar was with 4 beacons. Now you make it with 4 hellfired ingot blocks, hellforged blocks, these guys. Now you use 4 of those in the structure instead of beacons, which is nice. Significantly more interesting that way, I would say. Okay. Obtaining Ember is a big deal. Now, once you get Ember, you need a... what is it called? An Ember Activator. That's right, this guy. Let's see. Now that you have, I don't like where this is going. Now that you have Ember, it's time to use it to light or to. What is it called? Sell? What was this? Ember cell? Copper cell. It's called an Ember Receptor, right? The naming scheme is not what I'm as familiar with. Let's put this on a new page. This is a lot of information. Lastly, use the Tinker's Hammer on the receptor And then on the emitter first, then the receptor. To create a link, you should begin to see ember flow from the emitter to the You know, I wonder, really quickly, let me make a copper cell. I've not made one yet. I've been super lazy about it for no particular reason. Hang on, let me see. 4 makes 2. Okay, so I'll need that. I need some angelic stone. I'll need a block of copper. Yeah, easy peasy. All right, so what I'm curious, I don't remember, so I want to document it. This is why I document these things, because I haven't done embers much. This has been my first time through, and I really just kind of skipped through it a lot. Shamefully so, mind you. Probably should have grabbed more ember shard than that, but whatever. I want to say, let's see, so we've got, oh crud, did I forget my, I forgot my tinker hammer. It's okay. Probably should have grabbed more ember anyway. Yeah, I'll take that. And you. Let's see. So we have a copper cell. Copper cell will remember its contents. We have a receptor and an emitter. And I want to say that it requires a redstone signal, but I cannot remember. So I wanted to test that. Of course, I forgot that too. Whatever, easy enough to do. Oh, I didn't forget a lever, it's right here. Pretty sure, yeah. Oh, this? So this kind of starts a whole kind of interesting story. Not a big one. Are you done? Oh yeah, I only put 1 ember shard. That's right. So I have a mod called Cold Sweat. You can see I've got a little temperature gauge down here. I've had my little hearths everywhere. One of the aspects of Cold Sweat is how in the heck are you supposed to survive in the nether? It's too hot. So you'll find these in the nether throughout the nether, in soul sand, various plots of soul sand, not just the valleys. And what you do is you make a soul spring lamp in the overworld, and in your main hand or offhand, keep it around. And as you find these soul spring plants, you can use them or keep them and plant them. They like to be planted on soul sand near lava, hence the setup here. And what you do is you just fill this guy up with fuel by picking one up and right-clicking on it. So that's why I have these in here. And then I like to harvest these the lazy way. I've got a magnet on my backpack, so I just put them in my backpack. They drop sticks and the soul sprouts, and then you just plant them. Hey, Crafty Zombie, how goes it? You can also eat them individually. I don't remember what they do when you eat them. Oh, they decrease your temperature significantly. As you can see, my temperature actually froze me a little bit. You can see I'm now colder than I was. Yep, this is my own pack. I am currently working on questing, and that's going to expose different faults in recipes and things. Once you apply a redstone signal to the emitter, let's do coloration for that as well. I think that's pretty clear. I hope it is. 400 ember. Nice. Switch back to my Silk Touch. Turn off advanced tooltips for now, too. They're killing me. They're way too long. Ember receptor. Nice that you can do this, though. So we'll do you to you, and sure, just take the rest of these. Yeah, I have seen homeostatic. I actually like Cold Sweat because of how non-realistic it is. It's not a major, like, it can kill you. It will definitely degrade your playing experience if you are not protected from the elements in some way. But I don't like it when it goes too far. Like, it's not that I dislike it, it's just that that's not the goal of this pack. This pack isn't designed to make you regret existing in the nude or whatever. It's just largely designed to give you something else to consider as you build your stuff. Like, these things are super easy to build, these hearths, and they'll neutralize the temperature in an area pretty well. Makes you kind of have to reconsider before you go into the nether if you've got everything you need, because you won't. Oh, right, tick accelerating while you're asleep. I forgot that that was a thing. So you're done. And yeah, look at that. Such a cool feature. I'm glad I turned that on. I think I like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Terraformer Craft would be, like, perfect with homeostatic. I definitely think it would be, like, a great combo if you want that aesthetic, and sometimes I do. Just haven't really been in the mood for it lately. Part of why I dropped Geolysis is just because I've been so tired of developing a mod that I no longer even remotely enjoy. It just doesn't fit in with modern Minecraft well either. But largely just sick and tired of having to walk 8,000 miles for my frickin' ores. Alrighty, so we have this set up. Done. Documented. Good to go. Okay, so that is good to go. Now that you have Ember, you'll want to use it to melt. And I need to remember how that works too. I'm the worst. I really just barely remember how any of this stuff works. I really should have taken my time with embers, and I didn't, and I screwed the pooch there. Excuse me. Let's see. Ember receptor, I think goes up here, right? Yep, that it does. No, I want that back. Let's turn you off for now. And I need to remember... Pretty sure, yeah, fluid pipe, extract out the top. Yeah, I'm kind of going opposite of the way of mod developers, and I play the game more than I develop for it. I haven't really let mod development consume me that much. I just kind of... I'm not the best mod dev, I guess is really the big thing, is like a lot of people expect the most out of mod devs, and I just don't care. Like, if someone needs something yesterday, if I don't have time for it today, or if I don't want to make time for it today, then it just won't happen. That's why sporadically you'll see a lot of like big updates for V-tweaks or various mods. It's because that's what I felt like doing. It's not because like, oh, I had time and that's the first thing I chose to do. It's just, I decided that I feel like programming that day. But as it happens, I program for game development for a living, so that has been fewer and further between, unfortunately, which is super savage the way that life kind of is just like, hey, you know what? You're going to start to hate this now. Have fun with that. It's like, ugh, fine. Now, I made 2 melters, but I don't think I actually ended up needing them at all. So what we'll do, we'll just pipe these both together. Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. Get this really bad feeling that it's supposed to be on the bottom. It's supposed to be on the bottom. At least I remembered to check, at least. And then lever, lever, 2 levers, sure. And that should be, yeah, 2 iron ingots worth. I don't get why these do this sometime. Like, why are you being dumb? I see. You just need to try again. I'm guessing there was probably a collision. All right. Right, no, exactly. And that's, like, especially as I continue to do pack development through Harmonious Engineering and this pack as well, been super important to me to, like, report bugs, but also in a sort of, like, here's every piece of information you could need from me, so you don't have to ask me for it later. And let me know if I can do anything else. And here's what I think the bug is, and, like, trying to be as helpful as possible. And super patient. Like, obviously I don't bother anyone about it. There's a bug with blood magic right now that Way of Time's been uninterested in fixing lately. And it's like, it's fine. There's a PR for it to fix it. I wish it was fixed, but I'm not gonna throw a fit about it. It's whatever. This is just a game. And mod developers make almost nothing, if not nothing, from this. Depends on what platforms they're on. All right, let's see. Burning and using ember. There we go. I forgot the name of it. Oh, I have a timer that I have to go take care of. Give me just a second. I just have to put stuff in the refrigerator. Alrighty, leftovers have been refrigerated. Okay. I don't know what subtitle to do for this. Sure. Does this answer your question? Well, here. How do I start? Does this answer your question? Or, golly, there are so many things that I've modified. Yes, TLDR, yes, I've modified the living crap out of almost, I wouldn't say all recipes, but definitely the, like, major mod recipes that are, like, not base gear stuff have been modified. And there's a bunch of building blocks and stuff that are all the same too. There's a tool progression system, so you can upgrade tools from previous tiers and keep your gear or keep your enchantments as you go. So if you want to like enchant the heck out of a steel sword you made and then keep those enchantments, you can just upgrade it to the smithing table. So the smithing table has like a ton of recipes, like quite a few. And I like using the smithing table for a handful of other things. A lot of combination recipes I feel just are more fitting in the smithing table, personally. Maybe it's just me. So yeah, this lets you keep your tools and whatnot, mostly just for the sake of keeping your enchantments. Or upgrades, because you can also, gear needs to be, or it doesn't need to be, but should be insulated. So you can just take it over here to the sewing table and insulate it. And now you can see there's like that little bar underneath the main item. So yeah, there are like hundreds, if not thousands of lines of code of modifications to this pack for cross-mod integration. Sort of the entire progression line is revolving around like these cross-mod recipe changes. So Eidolon will let you get into going to the Aether. This is an item from the Aether, but this is a Aether portal frame, and this is the only way to go to the Aether. You can't actually freeform the portal. You have to make it like this. Once in the Aether, you can get carved stone from a bronze dungeon for the slider dungeon. The slider dungeon, wait, where do you get? Oh yeah, from the sentries. Have also changed soul cages significantly. Well, they're not really soul cages by default, but I've made them that way. I've renamed it the mod and done a whole bunch of stuff here. reintegrated every single mob by hand to remove some of the dumb ones and make some of them make more sense and add new environments. Mala, you need to... Real needy. My wife closed her office door because she's playing Splatoon. And you are being... 2 beds available to you, an entire couch, and now she's trying to bite me. Can you believe this dog? I would show it to you. Show her to you. But my other camera's being dumb. So, you get to the Aether, you defeat a bronze dungeon, you bring home carved stone, and now you can finally, using some Eidolon components and using some Aether components, make yourself a blood altar. Through blood magic, that's how you'll make a soul cage, that's how you'll do a whole bunch of stuff. Once you get to the point that you can go to the bigger of the 2-dimensional dungeons, you'll get the Hellforged ingots, then you'll be able to get the Tinker Hammer, which is what will actually allow you to functionally do anything in Embers. And then I've written a mod called Item Gator. Mala, cut it the hell out. Where it uses entity tags. So tags are a thing that exists, that have always existed. You can just toss them on players casually. And so if I remove the Embers tag and pick up something... Okay, well, I already had the hammer, so let's get rid of the hammer. If I pick up something from the Embers mod, it's going to show up as a Dwarven artifact. In fact, everything I have will now show up as a Dwarven artifact. And they're not the same Dwarven artifact. They have NBT data. As soon as I pick up this hammer, which is the key item, boom, everything converts back into its original form again. So I've got a bunch of artifacts right now from Immersive Engineering and a bunch from AE that I can't use right now. So even if I wanted to, I have not progressed enough in the pack to do so. And that's sort of just the way that it's designed. So fun stuff. Tags have been very fun so far. I wouldn't even say SevTech-esque. Like, the progression's definitely a lot quicker than it sounds. But my goal, really... No Botania. Personally, I'm quite tired of Botania. I find it very difficult to integrate in a way that isn't just Botania with a few changes. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, exactly. And then, like, Immersive Engineering is largely unchanged, but there are a few changes. So, like, to get started with most of Immersive Engineering, you're going to need steel. Steel you would normally get from a blast furnace, but guess what? You're going to need steel mechanical components. And you're going to need ember crystals and nether bricks. You're going to need to pack them under a great deal of heat to make some blast bricks. The steel components you can get through pressing in a metal press a steel ingot. Well, how are you going to get a steel ingot? It's all coming back full circle. What the heck? Well, steel nuggets. You can make steel nuggets by combining ash and iron nuggets, which is how, sort of accidentally how steel was discovered. Vaguely similar. And you can create steel nuggets and then go from there. So that will get you into that. Pneumatic craft. I got rid of the exploding mechanic for creating iron, compressed iron. I think it's kind of an odd one. You can still create it in the pressure chamber, but you can also do tiny TNT from AE2 combined with an iron ingot to get compressed iron, or you can do it by the whole block with a full block of TNT. So there's that. That will get you where you need to go. Routers, modular routers have been changed to use plastic or HDPE, your choice. They're both basically the same thing. So HDPE sheets or plastic sheets can be used in a handful of different ways. Blank modules use those. Most of the building gadgets use those. Flux core uses steel plates, copper sheets, and a capacitor. Trying to just make this feel like a cohesive experience, you know? Like, AE2, I changed to use... I retextured the circuits to match their control circuits from Mechanism, and they now require those control circuits so that there's an actual process. And then the calculation, like the full processor, still requires a printed silicon and calculation circuit, but also requires some copper wire. I know that that's not how it's done nowadays, but that is how it was once done. Very long time ago. Lychee. my dumbass searched for it and got the fruit, and I know what the fruit is. I don't know why I searched for it and just assumed that that was going to get me the mod. Custom interactions, JSON recipes, and currently Light.js support. Oh, this is cool. This is very cool. I will have to look into this. I do think that this could be very, very useful. There are a couple of handmade... So there's a cool thing that I don't know that a lot of people can know you can do. You can actually do Forge events. One of the other things that I've done is I've removed... Come on. I've removed mending. So, mending exists and theoretically would be able to be applied onto an anvil, but I've removed it using forgery/fabrication. So you can't actually buy it, and you certainly cannot obtain it through dungeon chests or anything, and you cannot get it from like on other gear. No gear will ever spawn with it, and you can't apply it thanks to forgery. So to fix a lot of the concerns around that, you can basically repair everything at a fixed cost constantly, which is part of why I preferred this method. And this fixes the rest of those things that don't have a specific recipe material in the anvil. They have a cost of 1, it's a fixed cost. And then one thing that I found, that's using the base forge events, by the way. One thing that I found is there are sometimes, let me get out my atlas. There are sometimes, you good? I think the internal server just died. Oh, there we go. Took you a second. Yeah, no kidding. Thank you for that. Why do I have another eccentric tome in my eccentric tome? So there are some times, I'm hoping that I can find an obvious example. Actually, yeah, here we go. So you see these chunks here? These are like obviously chunks that still have snow on them. Let's go visit them. There's a command, I might end up going to Antique Atlas. I haven't decided yet. I like Antique Atlas a lot. It's been ported to 120. Thinking about it. The NBT on map atlases is outstandingly bad. Probably the source of all the lag. And the way that I remove the enchants with sorcery or with forgery is actually like, hang on just a second. Sorry, the dog's been extra needy. Where is it? Features. So there's a feature here, disable mending. Disable mending trade, disable mending. So that's pretty nice. And then if we take a look at, so what, that's over to the west. Let's drop a pin there. Pin apple, perfect. What I've done is I've basically written, I did this the other day, but I've written, snow recalculations is a object, and then snow recalculation timeout, that's 60,000 in milliseconds, so that's every minute. And so basically, as you enter a chunk, if the chunk key, which is the position just packed as a long, if that key exists and it hasn't been enough time, it's not going to do anything. It hasn't been that 60 seconds yet, so it's going to ignore it. But it will update the key if it hasn't been recalculated recently, and will run this snow recalculate mod, which is part of the immersive weather mod, I believe. Immersive snow, which is an add-on for Serene Seasons. So it fixes snow that's stuck in an area. And you can see it's supposed to run more than it actually ever does, which is why I had to do it my way. It only ever seems to run on world reload, which is stupid. Oh, it looks like these chunks did get updated, and they just didn't update on my map. Oh well. So yeah, the ability to do forge events in Cube.js is super nice for like random on-the-fly fixes and stuff like that. Is it really? I haven't had any issues with either of the two. I've never had an issue with either of the two. So far. So far. Fingers crossed. So yeah, there's that. Event modification, custom items. It's really it. For the most part, it's just the entering section event and the anvil event. So these are really useful too for some of that stuff. Just depends. No natural progression. Natural progression is not on 120, first of all. I don't think it is. Is it? Did I do that on accident? I think it's still 119. Come on, browser. No, it isn't on 120. Hey, I forgot that I did that. Yay. Look, that's how much I forget about my own stuff, okay? I have a whole lot of stuff going on at work right now. And I'm about to change teams, so yay. What was the mod that I hadn't ported over yet that I was like, I should do that? What mods could it have been? Charged explosives has been completely neglected. I should probably take care of that. Persistent bits probably should be updated at some point too. So yeah, NatProg has a issue with has quite the issue. I said a and I meant and, but still has an issue with Jade. Apparently Jade's progression, like you see at the top as I try to break this grass block, there's a little line that is on par with the breaking progress of the actual block. Apparently the way that it does that triggers the same event that actually trying to break a block does. And if you look at a block without breaking it, it still triggers that event. And so it will falsely, natural progression will falsely accuse you of trying to break the wrong block with your bare fists, which it will harm you for when you're just looking at it with Jade. I'm pretty sure it's easy enough to just like, I don't know. My guess is just turn off that feature. Is it just me, or is that map looking kind of weird for a second? I don't know. But you know, it is what it is. Anyways, metal mixing. The fluid vessel still keeps the stuff good. Plus, again, overly realistic wasn't really the goal for this pack. I didn't want it to be painfully realistic. I just wanted it to be fun, and I wanted to mix in some realism without making it like the forefront. That's why like steel is made the way that it is, but it's not like it's that way forever. You can just make it in a metallurgic infuser once you unlock one, which you're free to make like as quickly as possible as well. Of course, you're going to need energy, but the rest of the recipe is largely unchanged. It's another thing. I hate osmium. I think osmium is the most unnecessarily added material in the entire game. So I've replaced osmium in every single recipe with steel. Steel will be like your most needed resource in this pack, which I will discuss once we get into the text side. And it might be up for debate. I might change that to some other material depending on how that goes. Also, if y'all haven't seen the Mecha Tools mod, it is so good. Where is it? What is it? I thought it was, oh, Mechanism Weapons. I don't know what its mod ID actually is. But these are electrical artifacts now. Crap. These are so cool. You can tell just by how they look, but they're incredibly endgame. I don't know that I have a problem with that. I mean, like, polonium sucks to make, so if that's what you're in the mood for, go for it. Osmium doesn't even spawn in the world. My world has some because I forgot to remove it. But yeah, clean osmium slurry, dirty osmium slurry has no recipe that is, like, particularly helpful or obtainable. I actually do need to fix this. That's not good. Let me do that. Easy fix. Is it nuke osmium in here? Yeah, okay, good. Event.remove output. Processing. How's this not removed? Mechanism processing osmium slurry dirty from ore. Okay, well, crap. Yeah, I don't like that. I have an entire class for deduplicating stuff because I really hate things like that. I don't know why. I just do. And I know that the reason it's not raw osmium here is because of this line right here. Or in this case, raw ore and then ore. So that's these two. Yikes. What a waste. So yeah, there's a bunch of cleanup. Let's see. Snail shells have been deduplicated. Like, I am super picky about some of this stuff. One of the things that was bothering me is pumpkin pie has like 11 ways to be made. And so I removed most of those. You can make it this way now. Not the vanilla way, but this way. Which is a pumpkin pie recipe. Or you can do it with the recipe sequence. With either honey or sugar. Because I thought this would be fun. Like, if you really want to have fun automating it, just do it this way. You just gotta mush it all together. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time on recipes and things. Pardon the entire derailment of this conversation. Just, I hate, like, when I look at the recipe for something, if I see 3 different recipes that are just the same recipe with, like, a different kind of egg, then I'm gonna replace that. I'm gonna fix that immediately. And just have it use a tag or whatever. there were two different kinds of like the egg recipes. This right now is like my #1 annoyance that I've got to fix. Let's actually go ahead and fix that real quick. So let's see, pumpkin pie. We can go ahead and shrink these down. Okay, so we're gonna do event.remove. Like the Aether does this a lot, and I don't hate it. Deep Aether? How dare you? That's the other thing. Server event tags. Exclusions. Good grief. Osmium. Not my favorite, yeah. Truly is just bloat. I strongly agree there. So the way that I'm seeing this then is we should actually do deep aether eggs for blueberry pie. Oh, sorry, aether redux. Yeah, it's not my favorite either. It's blueberry pie. It doesn't need to be a specific kind of egg. Forge eggs. Add all eggs to blueberry pie. Cakes. Remove. Let's see. There are so many recipes for a cake. Oh my god. Do I expect anyone to make a cake in this pack in the end anyway? No, not at all. Truly. always forget that I really do need to specify what grain. All right, and so this is where, like, it's really goofy is you can just combine, like, first of all, tags exist. Second of all, actually, yeah, why don't I just use tags? I was actually going to do an ingredient, and I can talk about that in a second. But you can also add like a series of multiple things together. So like here's something there did not work. That's what didn't work. Fair enough. So you can do multiple ingredients together by just returning like an array of ingredient items. So like this is soup's unnecessary. You could have just done this and this is totally fine. And realistically, I'm going to be that guy. I'm also going to be that guy. And say that you can use honey bottles. Because you can. Like, honey is quite a reasonable substitute. And so this is what I mean. You can just pass in an array of objects, an array of recipe items, and it'll just rotate between them. See? Now, I've discovered a new thing that I have an issue with. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, like, this is... you don't need to. And so what we can do, first of all... oh, we can do... where was it? Okay, about 198 or 189, I think, as of the latest count. A few. 179, sorry. A lot of quality of life mods, a handful of tech mods, handful of magic mods, mostly quality of life and aesthetic mods. I care a lot about both of those things. Probably too much, to be honest, but it is what it is. Okay, so cross integrate the flowers. That is a good question. I'm using Embedium. I'm using, shoot, what is it called? Alternate current for redstone optimizations. What's some of the other ones I'm using? I can't remember all of them off the top of my head because they keep on changing name. There's fast load, I think, for quicker world loading. Ferrite core for memory usage. People ask about the fog a lot, why it looks better. So fog looks modern now is another one. What's one of the other ones? Immediately fast helps a lot with UI stuff. Modern fix helps a ton, honestly, with a bunch of little things here and there. Trying to think of some of the other ones. Spark, of course, just for figuring out what things are going on. There was another one that I was thinking of, and I can't remember what it was at the top of my head. We have a handful of world gen. Oh, that's right. One of them was cupboard utilities for world gen optimization. You know, probably once or twice in the past, but I don't remember exactly what it would have been and what I did to fix it. Apologies. I wish I could be more helpful. You know, I think rather than doing this, let's just get... There's two different flowers, and they're both the same everything. Outstanding. How incredibly helpful. I didn't mean to save and quit, but you know what? It's gonna reload anyway. All right. Hey. I kind of figured this would happen because we don't have a Pneumaticraft compatibility layer, so sucks, but it is what it is. Sorry for the flashbang, by the way, with the white background. Data, Pneumaticraft, recipes. I'm assuming this is probably under pressure chamber. Yep. Wheat flour. Data, Pneumaticraft. Top layer, please. Recipes, pressure chamber. Wheat flour. I've been working on this for about 3 months now. There we go. Can I still do it with Cube.js? I've never had any luck doing it without an integration. Unless I've tried to remove stuff by the ID. And I still run into issues by removing by ID. Like recipe ID. And I know how to add it. Removing it is what I always struggle with. Believe me, I know how to add with event custom. I have a ton of these. It's just a matter of removing it that I always have issues with. Don't need that extra space in there. Can I access it? Can I access what? Look at all these worlds I've made. Cursed. Good grief. What was that? Oh, this was when I was doing it with Sinitra connector. That's why it was cursed, is because I was playing fabric mods on Forge. Yeah, I mean, I've got the recipe ID, but whenever I try to remove by ID, I find that that usually doesn't work. I'll try it here, though. It's easy enough to redo. Deduplicate. Right, it's not recipes. Pressure chamber. I was always under the impression that it was by recipe ID. Yeah, it's by recipe ID. I mean, mind you. Oh, this is CubeJS Legacy. That's not helpful. Stupid CubeJS Legacy. I'm pissed because it shows up with everything else. That's why it annoys the crap out of me. Removes recipe by ID, in this case, data Minecraft recipes glowstone.json. Okay, I'll give that a try. I mean, this makes sense. To me, at least. But that's why I was doing all these, is this is the actual recipe ID, and they worked just fine. I'll give this a try, though. That seemed to work. Definitely cannot craft it that way anymore. That's cool. Nice. Now the last thing to do is remove it from JEI. Pretty sure everything is still in alphabetical order, but just in case. Perfect. That's just the way I like it. One recipe for cake, using basically every egg in the world. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. Y'all, my mic's been muted this whole time and no one said anything. I completely forgot my mic has been muted for like 15 minutes. And no one said anything. Thanks, y'all. Of course I'm messing with you. It's all good. That was totally my fault. I forgot that I muted it. All right, let's see. Utilizing Ember when used in the construction of new gadgets and tools. Gotta remember, did I ever make a mixer? I surely did. Because I've got... Yeah, there it is. This one's another multi-block, and I can't remember the inputs and outputs, so I needed to check that. I believe, if I remember correctly... We'll put you there. We'll put you there. Fluid, fluid. Both of you placed on the wrong side. That's fine. You know what? Let's push you both back one block. I believe bottom there, top here. Ember emitter. Sure. And ember receptor here. And we'll do one lever deaver here. And one on each of these. And what we're going to do is be extra, extra lazy and just put water. Because I want to make sure that I'm looking at this correctly. Yeah, this is what I would have expected. Because that's not an alloy, right? There we go. Now, can molten iron be mixed with anything? It really can't be. Well, that sucks. Well, that's alright. What we'll do... We'll do molten copper. You're empty? Good. And then... we will do molten gold. Okay. Let's see, receptor here, emitter here, copper here, some more shards. And a redstone signal. Looked a little weird, but okay. Let's go ahead and put another Ember Receptor on here and rebind these two. And give you, like, quite a bit. Honkin' pie. Oh, this finally has a breaking tool. Thank goodness. It didn't for the longest time. So you just had to sit there and wait forever for it to break. All right, let me make sure I've got my facts right here. So we've got Stamper, Stamp Base, Stamp Base, Stamper. You're going to need an Ember Receptor from an Ember Emitter. Like so. Which will need a redstone signal. So ingot stamp, fluid vessel, fluid extractor, fluid pipe, lever. All right, I think that's it. I think we're done. I'm going to cheat this back in because I did technically have a food vessel, but I did not deserve that Dawnstone. Cool. All right, that's it. I thought that was going to be a lot worse than it actually was to document. I really was not looking forward to that at first, but it turned out not that bad and a very worthwhile experience to help me rehash some memory on how to do this. Now, I'm going to sleep because, man, this rain is just so annoying. The sounds. And yeah, you are nearly full now. Gosh, that was funny. Glad I made an ember cell, or copper cell. I had not made one yet, and it's been biting me in the butt for the longest time. Just haven't been bothered, to be honest. Wrong chest. Wrong heckin' chest. There we go. All right, we're going to put the bowl away in our little serving utensils container, and I think that has been plenty of streaming for a day. We're going to make sure that we save these on the server right now, and we push these to Git. What was the diff here? I want to actually see it and make sure that it's been working. Embers, fluid vessel, a whole bunch of new quests. Yeah, all right. I wish I could make this go away. I don't like this, and I don't like how big it is either. I mean, I guess I do like it in concept. I just don't like its approach in encroaching into my space like that. Yeah, I think I might call it, y'all. I am pretty tired. You know, been almost 6 hours of streaming today. Doing a lot of good work, though. I'm pretty proud of how much stuff we've managed to get nailed down quest-wise. Definitely feel really happy with this quest line. This one feels right to me. And then tomorrow we can work on stuff that I do know pretty well. Pneumatic craft I'll need a couple of refreshers on because I haven't used it half as much as I have these other three. But PNC is still super fun, and I do look forward to documenting the processes that you might want to take in PNC. PNC and Immersive are both going to be optional. You can technically just go straight from Create to Mechanism, and I'm going to be in full support of that if that's what you want to do. You know, I really don't care. I just don't. Do what you want to do. I'm probably going to do that because I don't want to do an Immersive and I don't want to do Mechanism. So do what you want to do. I'm also probably going to get rid of, really quickly, I just want to show this. I have this. This is how I'm detecting the game stages in the pack right now. So, in other words, in order to do the tags, in order to grant tags to the player, this is how I'm doing it. And it's pretty inefficient because it is doing this every second, every 20 ticks. It's doing a check to see, do you have Dawnstone Ingot? Do you have Andesite Alloy? Do you have this? Do you have that? And it's pretty inefficient this way. Do you have these dungeon keys? So it's pretty inefficient this way. And I think what I can do instead is do commands through FTB quests because it's already listening anyway. And just when you complete a quest that gives you an item, run those commands to grant you those given tags. And I don't know why I haven't done it yet. I think it's mostly just laziness. So I'll probably do that at some point, maybe tomorrow. I might stream tomorrow. I don't actually know when my next stream is going to be. I've been having a lot of fun today though, so I'll probably do it pretty soon. I don't really want to hold out too long and keep you guys having to wonder when the heck it'll be, but it'll probably be either tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll see. Anyways, you guys, have a great one. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you soon enough.